Welcome, profound seekers of wisdom, to Buddha's story. I'm your host, and for decades, I've delved deep into the intricate tapestry of Buddhist teachings, seeking to unravel the mysteries of existence and illuminate the path to liberation. The Great Silence. 5 situations where not speaking unlocks unshakable peace. Have you ever felt your life constantly overshadowed by the relentless noise of thoughts, words, and actions? We find ourselves perpetually talking, texting, or scrolling through social media, filling every moment with endless chatter, yet often feel more disconnected and restless than ever. What if, contrary to popular belief, the loudest voice isn't the most powerful, and the most impactful response is often no response at all? The wisdom of Buddhism, a tradition steeped in profound insight, reminds us that there are times when silence is not just golden, but profoundly transformative. It teaches us to recognize the subtle, immense power hidden within stillness and to wield it wisely, especially in 5 crucial situations that define our interactions and inner well-being. Today, we embark on a journey through the spiritual teachings of Buddhism, a voyage to understand the profound significance of consciously choosing silence in 5 specific, vital moments. These teachings offer powerful insights that can inspire us to lead a more mindful, harmonious, and purposeful life, transforming chaos into clarity. Prepare to explore these ancient pearls of wisdom, embracing the serenity of silence, and discovering radical solutions to life's most persistent problems. Let's unlock the secret to an unshakable mind. Chapter 1. The Power of Silence, Beyond Absence. Towards presence. Silence is far more than merely the absence of noise. It is a profound state of being, a fertile ground for inner transformation. In the eloquent words of the great Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, silence is essential. We need silence just as much as plants need light. If our minds are crowded with words and thoughts, we have no space. Buddhism profoundly recognizes this vital need for inner space and actively encourages its cultivation in various aspects of life. Silence acts as a gateway to profound inner peace, mindfulness, sati, and self-awareness. It offers us the unparalleled opportunity to listen not only to the clamor of the world outside but, more importantly, to the subtle whispers of our own hearts and minds, the unspoken truths that often get lost in the noise. It is a powerful, often overlooked, tool that can fundamentally transform the way we interact with the world and navigate life's inevitable challenges with grace and clarity. As we embark on this journey through the 5 crucial situations where silence is recommended in Buddhist teachings, let us keep in mind that silence is never about being passive or indifferent. It is, instead, about being profoundly present, attuned, and intentional. It's about choosing to observe, to listen, and to create space for wisdom to emerge. Let us explore these situations, understand their deep significance, and embrace silence not as a limitation, but as an ultimate source of empowerment, strength, and boundless serenity. Chapter 2. Silence in the face of anger, disarming the destructive fire. The first crucial situation where silence becomes your most formidable ally is, always be silent when you are angry. These words, simple yet profound, hold immense wisdom, for anger is a powerful, often destructive, and incredibly volatile emotion. When we are consumed by anger, our words and actions are no longer guided by reason or compassion. They are fueled by this intense, blinding emotion, and they can lead to deeply regretted, unintended consequences, causing immense harm to others and to ourselves. Buddhism teaches us that anger arises from attachment, upadana, aversion, dosa, and ignorance, avidya. When we become rigidly attached to our desires or intensely averse to a particular situation, and when we fail to see the fundamental impermanence, anicca, and intricate interconnectedness of all things, anger can take hold of us, consuming our minds like a raging fire. In such moments, silence is a potent antidote. Silence gives us the crucial space to pause, to breathe, and to reflect on the true source of our anger. It allows us to step back, to create a vital buffer between our raw emotional reactions and our subsequent actions or expressions. We can observe our emotional reactions without immediate judgment or impulsive expression. Through silence, we can engage in mindful breathing and self-inquiry, gaining profound insight into the root causes of our anger. We may discover that our attachments are unrealistic, that our aversions are based on misunderstandings, or that our rigid expectations are the true cause of our suffering, not the external event. Furthermore, silence serves as an impenetrable shield against the harsh words and regrettable actions that so often accompany anger. It prevents us from causing harm to others and to ourselves, preserving our dignity and integrity. In the silence of restraint, we can protect our relationships, preventing irreversible damage, and instead, create an atmosphere of calm and understanding, fostering constructive dialogue. In the Buddhist tradition, there is a powerful story of the two arrows. The first arrow represents the initial pain or suffering we experience when something distressing happens to us. This is a part of life, and it's often unavoidable. However, the second arrow symbolizes the additional suffering we inflict on ourselves through our reaction to the first arrow, our anger, resentment, blame, and resistance. By practicing silence in the face of anger, we can consciously avoid shooting that second arrow and dramatically reduce unnecessary suffering. This not only reduces our personal suffering but also prevents us from causing harm to others, fostering a more compassionate and harmonious environment. Silence in the face of anger is a powerful call to mindfulness, self-inquiry, and restraint. It empowers us to transform destructive anger into profound understanding and boundless compassion. By embracing this teaching, we can gradually cultivate emotional resilience and wisdom, becoming masters of our own inner peace. Chapter 3. Silence in Gossip and Slander, Protecting Your Inner Purity and Outer Harmony. The second crucial situation where silence becomes your guide is, always be silent when you hear gossip and slander. This teaching underscores the paramount importance of mindful speech, right speech, samma vaka, and highlights the severe consequences of engaging in harmful communication. Gossip and slander are like poisoned arrows that can inflict deep wounds, harming not only the person being spoken about but also the one who speaks and the one who listens. In Buddhism, right speech is a fundamental ethical guideline, emphasizing the importance of speaking truthfully, kindly, constructively, and beneficially. Gossip and slander fundamentally violate these principles, creating disharmony and spreading suffering in communities and relationships. Choosing silence in the face of such harmful talk aligns perfectly with the principles of right speech and actively promotes a more compassionate and harmonious society. Gossip and slander often stem from unwholesome emotions like jealousy, issa, resentment, or a malicious desire to harm someone's reputation. Engaging in such speech not only perpetuates these negative emotions within ourselves, poisoning our own minds, but also spreads negativity to others, creating a toxic environment. It can irreparably damage relationships, erode trust, and fracture community bonds. Silence in these situations serves multiple crucial purposes. Firstly, it prevents us from participating in harmful speech. By choosing not to engage in gossip or slander, we avoid the moral and karmic consequences of speaking untruths or causing harm to others. Secondly, silence provides an invaluable opportunity to reflect on the intention behind the gossip or slander. We can ask ourselves, am I engaging in this behavior out of envy, anger, or fear? What is truly driving this negative speech? Such profound self-reflection can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth and spiritual transformation. Additionally, choosing silence can subtly encourage those engaging in gossip to rethink their words. When we refuse to participate in or even listen to such conversations, it sends a clear signal that we do not condone such behavior. This non-participation may inspire others to reconsider the impact of their words and may even discourage them from continuing with their negative speech, thus breaking the cycle. Gossip and slander are widespread in our society, and their detrimental mental and social effects are well documented. In Buddhism, these behaviors are seen as violations of right speech, one of the components of the Eightfold Path. Right speech is about using our words mindfully and ethically, promoting honesty, kindness, and beneficial communication. The prohibition against gossip and slander is rooted in the deep understanding of the power of words. Words can profoundly shape our reality, influence our emotions, and deeply impact the lives of others. When we engage in gossip or slander, we often do so out of negative emotions such as envy, resentment, or anger. These emotions can cloud our judgment and lead us to speak untruths or exaggerate the faults of others. The harm caused by gossip and slander is twofold. Firstly, it harms the person being spoken about, damaging their reputation and causing emotional distress. Secondly, it harms the person speaking, creating negative karmic consequences and perpetuating unwholesome emotions within the speaker, contributing to their own suffering. Choosing silence in the face of gossip and slander is a powerful way to break the cycle of negativity. It is an act of non-participation, a refusal to contribute to the spread of harmful words. This not only aligns with the principles of right speech but also protects our own karma and emotional well-being. Silence offers us a moment of pause, a chance to reflect on our intentions when we encounter gossip or slander. We can ask ourselves why we are drawn to engage in such talk. This self-inquiry can be transformative, as it brings awareness to our own negative emotions and the suffering they cause. Furthermore, choosing silence can send a powerful message to others. Our silence can inspire others to think twice about the impact of their words. In a broader sense, silence in the face of gossip and slander promotes a culture of kindness, respect, and empathy. It encourages us to look beyond the faults and shortcomings of others and focus on their positive qualities. It fosters understanding and compassion, contributing to the creation of a more harmonious and caring community. The practice of silence in the face of gossip and slander is an embodiment of the Buddhist ideals of right speech and compassion. It empowers us to use our words more mindfully, protect our well-being, and contribute to a more positive and harmonious society. Chapter 4. Silence during conflict, cultivating compassionate resolution. The third crucial situation where silence becomes your ally is, always be silent during conflicts. Conflict is an inevitable part of human interactions. It arises from differences in opinions, values, or interests, but the way we approach it can significantly impact its outcome. Buddhism encourages us to choose silence as a powerful response to conflict, emphasizing the vital role of mindfulness, sati, compassion, karuna, and understanding, prajna, in conflict resolution. Conflicts often escalate from mere disagreements to heated arguments, hurtful words, and emotional distress. In such moments, silence can act as a profound cooling balm, allowing us to step back, reflect, and respond with wisdom and compassion. Rather than reacting impulsively, silence amid conflict is not about avoiding or suppressing our feelings. It's about creating a sacred space for active listening, genuine empathy, and finding common ground. By choosing silence, we allow ourselves and others the opportunity to express themselves fully, without fear of immediate judgment or further escalation. Moreover, silence allows us to gracefully disengage from the destructive cycle of reactivity. When we respond to conflict with anger, defensiveness, or counterattacks, we often perpetuate the cycle of negativity, making it more challenging to resolve. Silence bravely intervenes in this cycle, providing a crucial pause for reflection and a more measured, considered response. Conflict is an integral part of human relationships and interactions. How we approach and navigate conflicts can have a significant impact on our relationships and personal well-being. In Buddhism, silence is recommended during conflicts for its immense potential to bring about a more mindful and compassionate resolution. Conflict often arises from differences in opinions, values, or interests. When these differences escalate into arguments, disputes, or even physical confrontations, they can lead to emotional distress and harm to relationships. Buddhism recognizes that conflicts can be particularly challenging as they stir strong emotions and cloud our judgment. Silence during conflict is not about avoidance or suppression of our feelings. Instead, it's an intentional choice to create a space for active listening, empathy, and understanding. It is a pause that allows both parties to express themselves without the fear of immediate judgment or escalation. In this space, we can acknowledge our own emotions and reactions as well as those of the other party. Silence in conflict serves as a powerful tool for active listening, a skill that is often overlooked but absolutely vital for effective communication. When we are silent, we can fully focus on what the other person is saying. We can hear their words, understand their perspective, and empathize with their feelings. This compassionate listening can de-escalate the situation and pave the way for a more constructive dialogue. Moreover, silence offers an opportunity for self-reflection. In the heat of conflict, we may become swept up in our emotions, making it difficult to see the bigger picture or consider the long-term consequences of our actions. By choosing silence, we grant ourselves a moment to reflect on the root causes of the conflict, our role in it, and potential solutions. Another aspect of silence in conflict resolution is the prevention of further escalation. When we respond to conflict with anger, defensiveness, or counterattacks, we often perpetuate the cycle of negativity. This can make it increasingly difficult to find common ground or reach a resolution. Silence bravely intervenes in this cycle, offering a pause that encourages a more measured and considerate response. In the practice of silence during conflict, we are encouraged to set aside our own need to be right or to win the argument. Instead, we prioritize the well-being of the relationship and the broader goals of mutual understanding and resolution. This reflects the Buddhist principle of non-attachment, anupadana, which suggests that our clinging to ego-driven desires can lead to suffering and hinder our path to enlightenment. The power of silence in conflict resolution is evident in its ability to foster empathy, compassion, and compromise. It encourages us to look beyond our immediate emotions and consider the feelings and needs of the other person. By doing so, we create an atmosphere in which both parties can express themselves, find common ground, and work together toward a solution. Silence amid conflict is a practice deeply rooted in the Buddhist principles of mindfulness, compassion, and non-attachment. It is a powerful tool that allows us to navigate conflicts with greater wisdom, empathy, and understanding. By embracing this practice, we contribute to the resolution of conflicts in a way that preserves relationships, minimizes harm, and promotes harmony. Chapter 5. Silence in Witnessing Suffering, the Depth of Compassion. The fourth crucial situation where silence becomes a profound act of compassion is: always be silent when you witness the suffering of others. Compassion, karuna, lies at the very heart of Buddhism, and this teaching emphasizes the immense power of silence as a means to express deep compassion and offer genuine solace to those who are suffering. When we encounter the suffering of others, a friend going through a difficult breakup, a family member facing a health crisis, or a stranger experiencing hardship, our immediate, natural response may be to offer words of comfort or advice, to try to fix their pain. However, Buddhism suggests that in many cases, especially when the pain is profound, silence is a more profound and truly compassionate response. Silence, in these moments, communicates our unwavering presence, our deep empathy, and our unconditional willingness to listen without judgment. Suffering is an inherent, inescapable part of human existence, manifesting in various forms, including physical pain, emotional distress, or the immense challenges of daily life. Witnessing the suffering of others is a common, unavoidable experience in our interconnected world. In such moments, our natural inclination is to offer words of comfort or advice, to try to alleviate the suffering we perceive. Buddhism suggests that in many cases, silence is a more profound and compassionate response. This teaching aligns with the principle of right speech, emphasizing the importance of speaking kindly and beneficially. In the face of another person's suffering, silence can be the kindest and most beneficial choice. Silence in times of suffering communicates our unwavering presence and deep empathy. It conveys the powerful message that we are genuinely there to support and listen to the person who is suffering. Words, even well-intentioned ones, can sometimes fall short of expressing the true depth of our compassion. In contrast, silence creates a sacred space for the suffering individual to share their emotions, thoughts, and experiences in their own way, in their own time. It offers a refuge where they can be heard without judgment, without the pressure to perform or explain. In this space of silence, individuals often find true solace and profound support. Sensing genuine empathy, silence also demonstrates our deep respect for the individual's autonomy and their inherent capacity to navigate their own suffering. It recognizes that not all suffering can be alleviated through words or advice, and that sometimes, the most significant gift we can offer is our quiet, non-intrusive presence and our profound ability to listen deeply, to bear witness to their pain without judgment. Silence in times of suffering is a practice deeply rooted in the Buddhist principle of compassion, karuna. Compassion is not merely feeling sympathy for others, it is the active, fervent desire to alleviate their suffering. In silence, we offer a different, yet powerful, form of compassionate presence. We are there to bear witness to the suffering, to share in it empathically, and to provide a safe and non-judgmental space for the person in need. It's essential to note that silence is not always the answer, and there may be moments when words of comfort or support are genuinely appropriate. However, Buddhism encourages us to consider silence as a valid and immensely valuable response to the suffering of others. It reminds us that sometimes the most significant gift we can give is our quiet presence, our empathetic listening, and our willingness to simply share in the pain of others, without the need to fix or explain. Chapter 6. Silence in Personal Suffering, Embracing Self-Compassion and Healing. The fifth, and perhaps most challenging, crucial situation where silence becomes your guide is, always be silent when you are suffering. This teaching acknowledges the paramount importance of self-compassion and self-care during difficult times. It encourages us to turn inward and embrace the profound, often overlooked, healing power of silence. In our lives, we all inevitably encounter moments of pain, distress, and profound suffering, whether it's the loss of a loved one, a personal crisis, a professional setback, or a period of intense emotional turmoil. Suffering is an inescapable, inherent part of the human experience. During these times, our natural response may be to seek solace and support from others, to talk about our pain, to vent our frustrations. However, Buddhism reminds us that there are moments when silence, particularly when we are experiencing our own profound suffering, can be profoundly healing and deeply transformative. Silence in times of our suffering offers us a sacred sanctuary for introspection and radical self-compassion. It provides a vital space where we can acknowledge our pain without judgment, offering ourselves the same boundless kindness and empathy we might instinctively extend to others. In this profound silence, we can process our raw emotions, our tumultuous thoughts, and our difficult experiences, allowing for deep healing and profound personal growth. Moreover, silence serves as a refuge from the external pressure to put on a brave face or to articulate our pain to others. While sharing our suffering with trusted friends or professionals can undoubtedly be essential and beneficial, there are times when the sheer depths of our pain are simply beyond words, beyond articulation. Silence allows us to simply be with our suffering, without the need to explain, justify, or make sense of it for others. This experience can be incredibly liberating, as it grants us the freedom to simply exist with our pain, to sit in its raw presence, and to accept it as a valid part of our current reality. In silence, we can also connect with our innate, untapped inner strength and wisdom. Buddhism teaches that suffering is a part of life and that it can be a source of profound growth and invaluable insight. In the quiet of our hearts and minds, in the profound stillness of self-reflection, we may discover fundamental truths about ourselves, about our resilience, and about the very nature of suffering itself. We can explore the impermanence, anicca, of all things, recognizing that suffering, like all experiences, is transient and will pass. We can also come to understand the intricate interconnectedness of life, realizing that our suffering is not isolated but part of the universal human condition. This understanding can be an immense source of comfort and liberating wisdom. Silence in times of personal suffering is a practice deeply rooted in self-compassion, self-care, and self-discovery. It allows us to honor our pain without judgment, to find refuge from the pressure to explain, and to connect with our immense inner strength and profound wisdom. By embracing this teaching, we create the optimal conditions for genuine healing and profound personal growth, moving towards a more liberated state of being. Conclusion. The profound space, your path to an authentic, mindful life. The timeless wisdom of Buddhism offers us a profound understanding of the transformative power of silence in 5 crucial situations. In these moments, facing anger, encountering gossip and slander, navigating conflict, witnessing the suffering of others, and experiencing our own personal suffering, silence serves as a boundless source of mindful compassion, profound self-awareness, and transformative personal growth. Silence is never about being passive or indifferent. It is an intentional, active choice to create space to listen deeply, space to reflect honestly, and space to respond with profound wisdom and genuine empathy. It aligns perfectly with the principles of right speech, compassion, and non-attachment. as meticulously outlined in the Noble Eightfold Path. By consciously choosing silence in these 5 vital situations, we empower ourselves to transform negative emotions into wisdom, to nurture boundless compassion within and without, and to foster profound understanding in our interactions. We protect our relationships from unnecessary harm, minimize conflict, and actively contribute to the creation of a more harmonious, connected, and peaceful world by learning to be truly present, to listen deeply, and to embrace the profound healing power of silence. We integrate these timeless teachings into our daily existence. We embark on a continuous journey of self-discovery and personal transformation, moving ever closer to the ultimate ideals of Buddhism, which seek to alleviate suffering, cultivate profound mindfulness, and awaken us to the intricate interconnectedness of all beings. In doing so, we not only find enduring solutions to life's persistent problems but also uncover a clear, boundless path to unshakable inner peace and ultimate enlightenment. Remember the wisdom of Thich Nhat Hanh. Silence is essential. We need silence just as much as we need air, just as much as plants need light. If our minds are crowded with words and thoughts, there is no space for us. In the profound silence of these 5 situations, we discover the essential space we need to live more mindfully, more compassionately, and more authentically, revealing the boundless, peaceful truth that resides within. Thank you for watching, and may you always carry the profound peace and illuminating wisdom of these stories within your heart. Join our growing community by liking this video and subscribing to Buddhist Story, where ancient wisdom beautifully meets modern mindfulness. Which of these 5 powerful situations will you commit to practicing the wisdom of silence in your own life this week to cultivate deeper peace and clarity? Share your reflections and experiences in the comments below. Until our next encounter, may your path be filled with profound peace, deep understanding, and the radiant light of your own awakening.